Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy and a pleasure to be out in nature. Greeting you, always bringing this message of truth to you, this message of self-realization, this message of true emancipation, pointing you to look inwardly and not to look outwardly to discover your true identity, which is your divinity. That's the reason why I want to speak to you concerning how Abdullah taught Neville Goddard that the Bible was a book of symbology and that it was not literal, neither was it secular history. And most of you would know the story whereby he wanted was to travel to go to Barbados and he had no money. But here Abdullah told him that he had already in Barbados and that he would have traveled there first class. And he had no job and he had no money. Okay? Now, when Abdullah taught him that lesson and taught him how to use his subconscious mind and how to create consciously, then he also showed him this secret. They were all written scripturally, and that the Bible was a book of symbology, and that the only how he could get him to understand that the Bible was a book of symbology was when he take it from a place of theory and let him experience the practical. So this wasn't a man speaking from theory, but a man speaking from experience. Thus the reason why you have been told, even in 2 Corinthians 13:5, he said, examine yourself. See if you have any faith or not. And he said, don't you know your own self? It's like saying you don't know your own self. You've been existing for so long on the earth and you haven't come to know yourself. You haven't know whom you are as yet. Haven't your eyes been open as yet? Haven't you been awakened as yet? Say, don't you know your own self? That Jesus Christ is in you? Don't you know that Jesus Christ is the creative power in you? And it is not a man that existed 2,000 years ago? Haven't you come to that place of understanding that it is your own human imagination it is talking about? For he says, without him there isn't anything made that was made, and all things was made by him. Don't you realize that him is only a personification of your own human imagination? For everything in this world, it was first a thought. It was first imagined. And everything else in this world that is ever going to be made, it must first be a thought. It must first be imagined. It must first be an idea in someone's mind. And when you have that idea or that thought, it is invisible. You can't touch it. You can't taste it. You can't smell it in the physical. But when it is materialized or manifested, then you can handle it, you can touch it. That's the reason why it tells you, and the word became flesh. Because what is a word? A word is a thought expressed. So when your thoughts is expressed and materialized, then you realize you have just created. And that you are the creator of your world. You are the creator of your reality. And your thoughts, it is what is creating your reality. Therefore, you come to realize that you are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for your thoughts. And that you can't blame no one for anything that's happening in your life. The only person you can blame is yourself. So yeah, when people understand that the Bible is a book of symbology, then they will come to understand that true salvation is self-realization. By understanding that everything is symbols. and understand that a book of symbology was given to you so that you can discover your true identity. So here was Abdullah teaching a student how to come to true self-realization, how to understand that he have a creative power within himself, and that there's only one creative power. And everybody want to speak about, yes, there's a creator. Yes, if there's a creator, the only how you can prove that there is a creator is when you use your creative power. Because when you use your creative power, you're proving that the creator is in you. Then you're identifying yourself with the creator. Then you can truly say there's a creator, because you know the creator is yourself. Your innermost being, your essence, your true self, which is known as life. For life is God and God is life. You can't separate God from life or life from God. Many people that say, God give life. If God give life, then God give himself. Because God is life. There isn't a God existing somewhere in the sky. Most people when they speak about God, they say he. As if he's gender. God is a power. It's the power that within every human being that exists upon the face of this earth. It's life. It's light. It's intelligence. It's in the boards, it's in the cheese, it's in everything. It's energy. Energy can be created and it can be destroyed. So here was Abdullah teaching his student Neville how to understand all the symbology. To understand everything that is without, it is within. And how when you understand that everything that is without, it is within, that you can build your world from within and experience it without. So instead of you living from the without, trying to look within, you live from within, you understand, and express it out. Because when you understand that everything comes from a thought, you realize everything is coming from inside out. So your outside expression is an expression of what is taking place within. So your environment is your harvest. Where you live, the friends you have, the places you go, all of these things, they are product of your environment. They are product of what you are manufacturing. They are product of your mind. Because you are building your world. You are responsible for your world. So here was this intelligent teacher being such an inspiration, not just to Neville Goddard only, but to all of humanity, because he was equipped in him to discover such a power that he would be able to share it to the rest of humanity. That the rest of humanity will be able to look within themselves to discover their true divinity and to create their reality more consciously. So this message is for all of humanity. Now I see my battery is going low, so I will have to come to an end. If you haven't subscribed as yet, I'm encouraging you to subscribe or to like or to comment, and most of all, share this message of self-realization. And this message of self-realization, it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And when you have the experience of both in your crown chakra, you will understand what it means with the symbol of the single eye. And you will say that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. And that the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. So my encouragement to you is that you must make sure to always use your mind power to achieve your every desire. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.